February 18th, 2025. Garbage juice smells in the city on a Tuesday morning run before the garbage men whisk most of it away. That line came to me while running and sounded better when the words first came to me. But I didn't write them down then. Instead, I kept running, came home, showered, kissed my girlfriend, made coffee, had breakfast, listened to one of her ideas, and now, after my first sip of coffee, the scent of the idea has faded and that inspiration is kind of lost. What's very much alive in me today is a section from Rick Rubin's A Creative Act, where he talks about inspiration. The idea he shares there is to surrender to inspiration whenever it comes. Don't ignore it because it might not come again. And he gave stories about how some musicians' families know that when inspiration hit, they'd have to stop whatever they're doing and focus on catching it. They'd step away from dinner tables and work on catching that inspiration until it was all used up. And I think about how often I felt inspiration past. I was so wild about techno-feudalism and cloud capital last week, and I wrote a lot about it down, and I just let it pass. This morning I woke up at 6 and stayed in bed until 7 thinking about the idea with my eyes closed in the dark, but I let that idea pass me as well. At 7 a.m. I got out of bed and tried to capture some of those ideas, but they were skeletons of what I thought before. Last night, after reading that chapter on capturing inspiration, I decided that I need ways to capture my ideas more. So I put a notebook beside my table and practiced writing in bed, though I didn't use it this morning as I wish I had. And now I'm reminded of Seinfeld when he talks about having sticky notes everywhere so that he could catch a good joke before he loses it. And then doubt creeps in. Really, are all of these ideas worth writing down? Rubin is sharing stories about famous musicians. I'm just a dude writing words a lot, and then I catch myself, and I know that these doubts don't serve me. I think about rumination and how in a very traumatic part of my life, I wasn't writing as much, and I'd have difficulty sleeping as these words didn't find a way out of me, and so they echoed relentlessly. And now I'm reminded of Astley in John Fosse's Septology, who paints every day, and he talks about how he has to paint to get the pictures out of his head. And once he paints them, they're all out of his mind. And so too I found with all of these journal entries I've written. The ideas that were once so alive in me, once written, rest on paper and speak to me no more. This topic of capturing inspiration can take on many flavors. It could be either viewed as relief from thoughts or viewed as capturing the spark of inspiration. And in the end, both are ways to justify my fucking rub. It can be either viewed as relief from thoughts or viewed as capturing the spark of inspiration. And in the end, both are ways to justify my love of scratching ink onto paper. And that's it for today.